something oddly Resident Evil 4 about this. Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a game called The Moth Inside Me. And I'm not wholly sure what to expect from this, as on the one hand it was advertised as being a horror game, at least I think it was. On the other hand, the developer said that it was based on a repressed and recurring dream of theirs, so I don't know if it's going to take a slightly more serious tone or not, but we shall see. Now, is sleeping or waking up the way to progress? I assume since this is about a dream, I must sleep. Put the volume up a little tiny bit. Press E to do what? But I don't know what it does. Shouldn't press random buttons when you don't know what they do. Press E to open my eyeballs. Perhaps I should have anticipated that. Ah. Well, at least I'm not lonely in my bed, even if admittedly we both sleep on the same side, which is a tad mysterious, and someone's shot a hole in this light fixture. Alright, let's have a wee look round and see what we can find. A framed photograph. 3 red scratches on there to mark the 3 people that this man has murdered or something. I don't really know what that's supposed to be about. Presumably something to do with a little puzzle or a clue. I don't know. Can we look outside? I can crouch, indeed. There's some really rather nice sound effects as well. Little ventilation thing there, and a journal. There is nothing written in the journal. Then is it a journal or is it just a notebook? There are the philosophical questions that you only ponder in the middle of the night. I'm guessing the power has gone off momentarily, judging by this, or possibly for quite a lengthy period of time if this is my house. Judging by this being all flashy. Right, I've never quite understood with these mouse controls how the hell you're actually supposed to control how these things move around, so I just let them flail in random directions. Alright, is this... yes, this is some form of a cupboard in which I keep a television, which you'd have to sit all the way up in order to see, and it's so far away you might as well be looking at something the size of a postage stamp, and a box of crackers, just in case I get hungry in the night. Perhaps that's why I've woken up. Original crackers, yes. With information on them, yes. Oh, I'm not eating them, am I? Oh, that's a frightful shame. It's got a bit damp on the bottom there. That's a tad worrying, but never mind. Never mind any of that. Let's see what else we've got. What else we've got going on? I feel that looks vaguely familiar. That I feel like I perhaps should recognise, but that one I feel like I do recognise. It almost looks a little bit like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 cover art, but I don't actually think that it is. I think it's something similar to that. That's obviously Jaws. That much is self-evident, but the others I'm not quite picking up on. But I rather enjoy that they've seemingly picked real posters and cover arts and things, and I've now got to try and guess what they are. Well, I don't have to, but I do. I do guess what they are, because as you know, I get transfixed upon meaningless pieces of information. Right, what is in the drawer? A key. Goodness. So I've locked myself in my own bedroom. Alright, I turn the light on. Oh! It's not a bullet hole, it's a light bulb. It's a light bulb that's so bright, the light from it was actually burning through the lampshade, meaning the lampshade is thus completely useless, and burning straight into my eye. I see. Right. Fair enough. So, presumably that body there is supposed to be a manifestation of my physical self, that physically I am still within the bed, but then my mind is wandering, quite literally, off around the house. Some more crackers? No! Pesticide. Don't put these on your crackers. Put cheese on your crackers. Even if it's that awful processed cheese, please put that on your crackers and not pesticides. You will end up in a little bit of a pickle. Now, is this more pesticides or is this a piñata, judging by the colour scheme? Ah, right, okay, some sort of fabric softener contraption thing, alright. Seem to have various cardboard boxes containing various different chemicals. That seems a very large light for such a small room, but by all means, just you carry on. These references to moths are making me think of a game we played some time ago. Oh, that door was never locked. I could have gone through it ages ago. Right. That's just a case of me being an idiot. I sincerely hope that you didn't come in here expecting anything else, because if you did, then I might get I might get in trouble for disappointing you. Let's hear some more nice sound effects. Very nice indeed. A book, a dusty book. Yes, no, sorry, to continue my random tangent from earlier. This reminds me of a game played, we played some time ago. Was it called Moth House or something like that? We had to go around a house catching moths in a big net. Strange game. Right, dusty book, what does it say? Eventually I'll get this right. Now, I'll just turn my neck, that's easier, shall I? Understanding the Underworld, yes. A book of cultural tips when you're visiting the ghoul city of the capital wasteland. Marvellous advice. Right, what comes next? Other than wondering what kind of a whack job invented a chair like that. My word, that does not look comfortable. Alright, it doesn't seem that I can interact with my computer. I'm guessing this is set quite a while ago then, judging by the old TV set and the... What the hell is that? I am most frightfully sorry that I did not acknowledge you when I entered the room. I wasn't being rude, I was just being half blind. So, forgive me. Oh, swirling, tenderly mass of ceiling fan... qualtothness. I sincerely apologise for ignoring you. Oh... How did I miss all of this? I don't know. And I'm not sure that I want to know. Maybe it wasn't there before. Maybe it appeared when my back was turned. I'm not sure what we have here. Seems highly squelchy. Seems to have an orifice as well, which is less than marvellous. Oh, I see. And now I'm just carrying on with my life, aren't I? Ah, right. You know, Mr. Protagonist, man, when you rang me up all those years ago, so excited about your self-build project, I'm not just gonna buy a house. That'd be boring. I'll build a house. That way it'll be just the way I want it. You know, I was all behind you. I really was. I thought it was a tremendous idea. When you said you wanted a slightly unusual living room, I didn't think that you meant you were going to be filling it with Lepidoptera, but by all means, carry right on with your weird chimneys in the floor. Alright. Right. Would walking over here and attempting to have a better look at this thing be a really stupid idea? The answer to that question is most certainly yes. Would crouching underneath this thing and then using its drippage as shower gel be an even worse idea? Would looking straight up and opening my mouth and thus ingesting a large volume of this stuff also be a terrible idea? The answer to all of these questions is yes. But other than that, it's all going fine. Here's another photograph of some more people. This one has a different symbol on it. Okay, maybe the other one wasn't a 3, then I really can't turn these around. I don't know what that symbol is, but it's a little bit too close to a symbol I'd rather have absolutely nothing to do with. So if you don't mind, I'm going to leave that photograph alone until I can identify that that symbol is in fact something different, and thus and thus I can rationalise looking at it. Right, can I go through here? I can't get it open. Ah, right, I see. Well, yes, there's some sort of joke about people who sleep alone in bed and having quite good arm strength. So I'd expect you to be able to open a door, but we shan't worry about that. Can I open this door? I can't open this either. Well, fiddlesticks. Must I do something about this chain? Perhaps. Because, yes, this chain connects to this thing. Oh, good. I'm so glad that we're coming back to dealing with this thing instead of running the hell away. No, definitely can't interact with it. Don't know why I bothered trying. I feel like a prompt would have arrived earlier if that was the case. Well, that didn't get rid of them. I don't know why I thought a light would get rid of a moth. Surely that would bring more moths in. But never mind, I suppose that's dependent on how many windows you've got open. Right. Right. The chain seems to continue. So I suppose we could try following the chain, seeing where it leads, and seeing if that, I don't remember this door being here before. I don't remember this pumping being here before. Oh! It's one of those torpedoes from the Lego Star Wars game. Yep, apparently. Why is this a thing that I've got in my life? Right, do I have a reflection? No, no, of course I don't. I see. Is that because I'm a dream or because I'm a vampire? I'm not sure. Right, a dirty towel. Ah, it's so filthy it's gone solid and crusty. Ah. Again, I could make jokes to people that live alone and sleep in bed alone and all the rest of that alone, but we shan't worry about that. Would the mothballs come in handy? Would these be of assistance? Can I pour some of these onto this purple thing? Perhaps, perhaps not. Has anything changed in here? No. Well, it's good to know that some things have stayed the same. I wonder what would happen if I pushed this into the orifice of that big weird thing. And don't take that line out of context. Can I put this into here? Nope. Nope, that's not a thing I can do. Okay, right. That was just the sort of crazy idea that I had. Man alive. You know, at least if I have a crazy and slightly revolting idea like that, I feel vaguely justified in having it if it's actually how I progress the game. But it would appear that that is not how one progresses in this game. So now I just look like a weirdo. Oh good, oh good. Right, I'm not sure why there's a disco ball here. You just enter the house and there's immediate disco action. Presumably that was for the door which popped up rather than anything else. Alright. What am I supposed to do with this pulsating bauble, precisely? What exactly would you like me to do with this? Right, I just hadn't stood in the right magic corner. Tremendous. Now, how precisely does that help my situation? So these aren't chimneys that are going to have some sort of chipper Victorian child pop out of them? No. Alright. So presumably I need to find 4 of these things. Well, that's perfectly reasonable, except I still can't go anywhere. So I'm still a little bit stuck. But other than that, we seem to be making some vague semblance of progress, so that's tremendous. I do notice that there's a similar coloured blob here, but I don't think I can pick this up. I'm going to burn my eyes out staring directly into the light bulb like some sort of a muppet. Alright. I suppose I shall have to wander around a tad more and see if I can find anything else, or indeed anything else has changed. I see. I'm absolutely sure that... right, hang on a minute, things are moving a tad quickly. I'm absolutely sure this door wasn't here before. I wasn't 100% sure about the bathroom door, but this door, I'm certain, was not here previously. The prompt also says that you should left click, but you can press E if you so desire to be a contrarian. What do we have in here? Nothingness. Here we have a thing. This has a different number of people in. That has the same symbol as before, but turned 90 degrees. How curious. Those pictures and those symbols, they must have some meaning, some... I'm in the dark in here. Some significance. There must be a light switch as well for the main light in here. Yes, there we are. That's significantly better, unlike this bedding, which is significantly worse than most others I've seen. Oh, blimey, is there a book we can read? No, but there is a secret cupboard for all of your secret mischief needs. Oh, yes. Well, I suppose they do say you should work exercise into your day wherever you can, but I don't think shifting a bookcase to and from in the way of your wardrobe so that you can get dressed and undressed every evening is quite the way to go about doing that. But by all means, let's carry right on. A binder. What does this say on it? I don't know. I can't get it open. Doc 1. Or Doc 2, actually, possibly. I can't quite tell with this font. Oh, blimey, what's happening now? I've read some files about a doctor, perhaps? I don't know. Seem to be having a dream within a dream, or waking up and still being asleep. I'm not quite sure how this is going. It's bloody dark, isn't it? Right. I'm not quite sure how much you can make out. Not a frightfully large amount. However, there do seem to be some motion-activated lights, along with another terrible bit of carpentry, if that is a word. I don't seem to be able to go through these doors. That's a shame. Mind you, there's so much mole on the walls that frankly I dread to think what the actual apartments look like in this building. But let's go for a little meander down this corridor and see what sort of motion-activated awfulness we discover at the other end. I should also emphasise, I'm not moving the camera, it's doing that wibbly-wobbliness all of its own volition. Well, like the Roman pillars, very classic. I'm not quite so sure I'm going to enjoy anything else. Okay, right. Well, that confirms the fact that this game likes to change things when you're not looking, so it's not just me being an idiot missing doors. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than one like that. This also seems to have both a knob and a handle. Right. As opposed to me, who is a knob, who doesn't have a handle on life. Right. Here's a lovely, dreary cubicle, and here is a strange, otherworldly entity that has risen out of the floor in order to give these people something to talk to their wives about when they get home, and she asks, how was the 9 to 5, dear? And you can say this massive, shiny button arrived out of the floor, and then it vanished. And she'll say, that's bloomin' weird. Right, hello friend, how are you getting on with life? Ah! That's what you get for micromanaging people, you see. You stare over your employees' shoulders, they'll just zap you and vanish. Fair enough. What's in this infinite, dark, inky void? I don't know, but let me stick my face in it and see what bites it off. I'm sure that won't go in the slightest bit badly for me. Can I, No, I can't. I can't go down there. Alright. That was most interesting and most curious. This does have the very strange, inexplicable nature of a dream. That much, thus far, is being well represented. I've always thought it's very difficult to make a good game about dreams, because dreams are such a personal thing. Because I don't know about you, but I don't dream about work cubicles in an underground swimming pool with a giant demon eye in them. Maybe all of you do. Maybe all of you can't get through a Friday night without a dream of some such. Right. Is there a big donut I can eat? Oh, it's probably an inflatable rubber ring. You know, I'm no electrical engineering safetyologist, but I'm pretty sure this is frickin' dangerous. But, Oh, you're going up. Oh, you're going up this time. Oh, I see. How rude of me for just assuming that all of you were the same, and that you all went down. Right. Well, that's something that I've achieved with my life, for better, or far more likely for worse. Let's have a look at the other end of this room and see what we find. Dark, spooky corridor. And some more infinite murky voids, which are very likely to bite me if I try and penetrate. In fairness, if you do try and penetrate things without so much as taking somebody out for dinner first, even if they are an inky void, you probably deserve to be bitten. Let's see. Oh, no, neither of these go anywhere. Is anything going to change when I turn around? Seemingly not. No. curious. Curious. I want to just go all the way to the end of the other one, just on the off chance that I didn't go quite far enough to activate whatever the hell it was it wanted to do. No. Nothing would appear to have changed, and I'm running by the swimming pool, and the lifeguard will get most grumpy at me. Let me return to my gaming den and see if anything has changed in here. Yes indeed. Somebody decided that the chair was so awful they took it to the tip. And for doing that I am grateful. Ah, right. We found another one of the hearts of Davy Jones. Bloody hell. Again with this. Again with the this. Alright. It's curious because in most horror games, hearing a heartbeat is typically there to imply that you're in danger. With the exception of the strange noise that's playing. It's a little bit like somebody with brain damage talking on a ham radio. But, there's nothing, strictly speaking, scary going on. So there's a strange contradiction here. When my brain is telling me that there's stimuli which should be making me feel scared, there's also a complete lack of stimuli to say that. Thank you very much. Do I need to go back to sleep so that I may wake up again in my real world, with an emphasis as big as Memphis is on the word real? Right. At least now I know what to do with this, yes, which does seem to have slipped out of my hands. How frightfully criminal. Also, speaking of criminal, some criminal has come in here and stolen half of my posters. How rude of them. There's the number 6 scratched in tally marks there, like on the walls of a prison. But let's carry on and see what further we find. I feel like someone's done a little bit of redecorating here and moved the sofa. But never mind. Let me see if this will go on here. Yes, indeed. Now, does that actually achieve anything? I wonder if presumably it must have something to do with the chains, right? Must have something to do with the chains. I don't remember this being here either. But hey-ho, when your host has built their own home, you imagine they must be quite good at building more bits of it in order to catch you off guard. Ah! and presumably they built their own home so that they could chain up their fridge and ensure that nobody could steal their sausage rolls. Hello, is there somebody at the door? I don't know. And a naughty step here for putting naughty fridge raiders in the corner for being mischievous. Right, chocolate flakes, indeed. Yes. I'm not really sure how anybody got the idea that eating chocolate for breakfast was a healthy decision, but hey-ho. What else do we have? A broken mug. Ah, a bit like me. A mug, just broken. Tremendous. Blimey. What else do we have? More pesticide, more mothballs, presumably. Yes, indeed. Alright. I also didn't think that mothballs were actually used for killing moths. I thought mothballs were used for as a prevention in order to stop moths from sticking around rather than getting rid of them. It's blimey. Get the impression my character's rather long-sighted. Alright, do either of these doors work now? No. I wonder if that might actually be the front door to the house. That door just doesn't seem to be interactable with at all. And that one's still the same as before. Right. let's all just pretend that everything's perfectly normal and that the television didn't just explode. Right. I mean, I know I'm ugly enough that if I walked in front of a mirror, it might crack, but I didn't think the same thing would happen with an old CRT. Oh, a new key. Alright, presumably that's... fiddlesticks. Wish I could find some builders who were that quick and that quiet. I presume this is for the fridge. There's a lot of moths in here all of a sudden. I don't know why. And more mothballs, despite the fact that they don't seem to be doing a great deal. Good afternoon. This moth seems to be some sort of inverse vampire, whereby he has a reflection, but not just a physical presence. And here's some kidneys, just in case you needed some to put in your steak pie. And more pesticide. Despite the fact that we seem to have about half a dozen boxes, we don't seem to have enough. And the bedroom's gone. And the light switch is gone. Oh no, it's moved over here. Naturally. Some people iterate the design of the architecture stage, but no, by all means, just tear everything out and move it 3 centimeters to the left if it displeases you. What the hell do we have in here? Ah! Another exploded television. Curious. Sorry, it's cold in here. Alright, what possible reason on this undeserving earth do I have to be in here? I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm really rather, disturbed to stick around. I also don't want to know what those stains are. I just don't want to know. Alright, let's pretend like everything's fine, and that we have very good reason to believe that the door to the kitchen has magically rematerialized. Oh, it has. Blimey. If only I was that good at predicting the lottery. Alright, let us see what is in the fridge. Please don't be moth meat. I don't need moth meat in my life. Oh, some whiskey. Oh, tremendous. The only clean part of this frickin' house is the fridge. Right. Yep. Excellent. Marvellous. This will solve all my problems and not make them significantly worse. Oh, blimey. Right. This is a curious location. The floor looks like a children's play area from a fast food restaurant from the 90s. But the rest of this place seems like a Arctic warehouse. This is very mysterious. I like this. It's strange enough to be inexplicable and to be intriguing, but it's not so inexplicable that it becomes irritating or random. It's treading that line quite carefully, which I like. I can't wait to find out what kind of a canned Hulk they've got, which is making so much of a racket. But hey-ho. If only I could find a warehouse like this in real life, I could do one of those opening undelivered parcel videos that seem to be so popular on this website. There are some bushes, just in case you just in case you needed some of those delivered to your house. You've got those in the warehouse as well at the moment. And we have a big switch. I have absolutely no idea what that did. Hopefully something useful. But possibly not. I don't remember there being a gap there before. I feel as if I would have gone through there if there'd been a gap. So, I feel as if this is new. You know, actually, now that I listen to it a little bit longer, I don't think that is the sound of, like, Initially I thought it was someone like bashing on a piece of metal, like bashing on a barrel or something, but now it actually sounds more like the wind blowing a tarpaulin very quickly. I don't know. Excuse me, sir, would you put down your hammer? You're giving me a headache, and by sir I mean plant. I'm sorry, you're not the person I'm talking to. Oh, it's a clock. I do find clocks irritatingly loud. I don't really understand how anybody has physical ticking clocks in their house. They drive me up the wall. But, they're not quite that blooming loud. Right, sorry. I thought this was some sort of a blacksmith character who was leaning over an anvil, hitting it with a hammer. It would appear that I am both wrong and stupid. Can I ever sit down? I feel as if I have possibly earned one, but no. Seemingly not. There's nothing here that I need, is there? Or anything I can interact with? Seemingly not, no. I can hear the heartbeat start to pick up, as if getting a little bit closer. Yes, that disappears when I get further away. But I don't know precisely how one is to progress. I need to see what you've swept under the rug. I see the chasm to hell. Yes. I mean, most of us just do, like, you know, a bit of dust that we can't be bothered to get rid of. But no, by all means. By all means. The chasm to the warehouse of hell. That's not even a comment about capitalism and consumerism. Again with the big eyeball. Hello. Or is it... It looks as if there's something larger that is bright behind something smaller, which is darker, almost like an eclipse. Very curious. We're not on Earth, judging by that. Right, let's... Right, yeah. Let's... You know what? Let's not go down this road, huh? Let's not go down this road. I've been down this road, and it wasn't much fun. So how about we leave this well behind us, and we move on to something else? You know, the massive dripping cocoon with all the moss doesn't seem so really bad by comparison anymore. Alright. Let us continue to meander about this maze and find another chasm down to the second circle of hell. Now I'm being kidnapped and smuggled across the border in a shipping container. Fair enough. Oh, here we are again. Presumably the clock is under there somewhere, because we could hear the heartbeat. Hello. Oh, I can't interact with you. Interesting. Then what am I to do other than just jump into the ravine? Nothing, I suppose. I was going to say, it seems as if I've died and been reset. No. Interesting. So I had to take a leap of faith. Either that or a leap of stupidity. There's a very fine line between those two things. Going back to bed. My favourite part of the day, when I can go back to bed. I must say, this is lasting longer than I expected. I only thought this would be a little 5-10 minute thing, so I'm quite impressed by the level of content and how it's managing to hold my interest. I've just realised I should have been reading this journal, shouldn't I? Yes. There'd have been a little description after each dream I spec. Sorry, I missed the first one. Walking through a big warehouse that was lined with dozens of shelves. Parts of the ceiling were open with a lot of light coming through. I had a feeling of comfort, but also very cold. I found a bunch of boxes that were mostly empty. I kept looking through all of them, trying to find a watch I thought I lost, but I couldn't find it. I tried leaving, but tripped over a gap in the floor and woke up in a sweat with a sensation of falling. It's a strange thing the human body does when... That's curious. Where it sort of tricks you into fun. Mike, I really need to see the chiropractor because my neck is having a bit of a moment. Oh. The sentence is a long one. I don't just mean an overly wordy conjuncture from me. I mean the old prison one. What the hell was that? Oh, goodness gracious me, my washing machine's exploded. I think you've had enough. I think you've had enough. My goodness. That reminds me of that old Cat in the Hat film where all of the purple goo gets everywhere at the end. My goodness, that was a strange film. And that's a very strange way to watch the screen. But never mind. Yes, I am cognizant of the increasing numbers of boxes of pesticide. Alright. Let's pop this here. Let's see if we can't get on with life. Yes, look, another chain has disappeared. I see, so when I get the last one, I can presumably go through there. But that's a little curious, because it looks as if... Oh no, maybe that's just a light, actually. Maybe that's not the... Maybe that's not the quadtuplet of big pulsating purple balls. Right, oh, I see. There were more. There were more white goods which became pink goods when they exploded. Right. I mean, naturally. You wouldn't want your kitchen appliances feeling left out now, would you? Right. Let's pretend like I've got the faintest idea what's going on with life. A blockage, and I don't just mean a plumbing related one. Smack myself in the face with a door. Can I turn the light on, please? Yes. Doesn't help much, but helps a little bit. Right. It would appear somebody is having themselves a bit of a bath. I shouldn't interrupt, but I shall, for the sake of getting the video going again. Yeah. No, stop doing that. I don't want to do that, but by all means carry on. Oh dear, the world is full of strange new health kicks. I don't think bathing in Ribena is one of them. Or if it is, it shouldn't be one of them. Right. Let's just pretend like... I don't need to look in there. I don't want to look in there. Oh, sheesh. Just... I don't want this to be necessary to progress the game, because that would be awful. On the other hand, I do want it to be necessary to progress the game, because if it's not necessary, then I just came up with this stupid idea on my own. No, it wasn't necessary. Right, it was all my fault. As usual. Good, good, good. Is there a door here? Yes, there is. I don't remember this being here before. Oh, we've got ourselves some more kidneys. Marvellous, just in case you needed them. And also a dual hand washing station. Just in case you and your better half like to get ready in sync in the morning. What? in sync. For fuck's sake. I didn't even mean that as a joke. I meant in synchronicity. I didn't mean in the basin, but somehow it all sorts of fell into place. Some army boots. What are all these about? Yes, 'tis a big boot that's probably hiked many miles whilst being shouted at by a drill sergeant. Fair enough. Unless I'm going to use the boot for pest control, I'm not sure why I'd want that. Kitty out is dark. There we go, that's better. Shut the door behind me so I can see what I'm doing slightly better. Oh, blimey! I don't like that. No, I don't. Let me just pour all of that into here and regret nothing. Oh my goodness gracious me! I don't. Is that what these really are then? Is that an incubation chamber? This wasn't here before. I cannot say that I am enjoying this a great deal. If you just what have we here? What would that be? It could be an N and an I, or it could be an I and a U, depending on which way up you hold it. Or very possibly a 2 if it were missing part of it. Curious. I don't know. We've got 4 different pictures with 4 different symbols on them, and I don't know what the heck they're all about. Right, what does this say? Summer of 2004. This technology seems a little bit earlier than 2004, but hey ho. Maybe they didn't upgrade every year. Blimey, this reminds me of something out of unsorted VHS. Sheesh, I have got to see the chiropractor. In fairness, I have woken up a couple of times. I can walk faster all of a sudden. I have woken up a couple of times having slept in a poor position and then found that my neck was so stiff it was actually painful to straighten it. But we shan't worry about that. We have found ourselves a little house and some power cables. Right. We pop in for tea with grandmother. That would be most pleasant. Nope, grandma doesn't like me. She doesn't like that I use such filthy profanities to say words like "cor blimey, governor" and "ooeck." However did that happen? And as such, I am not worthy of entering her house nor eating her biscuits. Hello, friend. Good afternoon. Oh, magic 8-ball. What the hell am I doing with my life? Oh, the house is gone. Right. Goodness. You think if I went bankrupt and had to liquidate my primary asset, you'd think I'd notice. Right. Let's walk down the road and see what happens. My goodness. I still can't quite decide if this game is going for a serious somber tone or not. And if it is going for that sort of a tone, then I sincerely apologise if I'm making light of it with my frivolous humour. You know, and this is completely meaningless and pointless, but when I was young, we had a living room with the television at one end and the sofa at the other, and a coffee table in the middle, and that was how we discovered that I was short-sighted, because I wasn't sitting on the sofa to watch the television, I was sitting on the coffee table in the middle of the room. We shan't worry about that. Oh dear, I feel this could be a piece of modern art talking about how enslaved we are to our screens, but I'll leave that for more artistically minded individuals to discuss. There's a pathway over there, I'm not quite sure what that leads to, but there's also a car over here, which looks vaguely curious. Oh dear, has someone been run over? No, Bambi seems to be fine. That's tremendous. It's an interesting colour scheme you've got here. Pink on the sides and white on the front. Alright. Fair enough, with the floating trees and the floating energy infrastructure. Cool. If only the national grid was so advanced, we might start getting somewhere in life. Right. My goodness, if your pupils are that dilated, then you need to be taking a few less substances. Alright, let's go for a little walk in the forest, and surely everything will be fine and lovely and charming. There's a strange flickering effect on that for a moment made me think it was a load of spider's legs. But gladly, that's not what it is. Oh dear. I don't really like this. I don't really like this. This seems to be drawing on some... Would you take your eye and get a little teeny tiny bit further away from me? Thank you very much. I feel as if this is drawing on some form of childhood misery, which is always a cheerful and chipper, cheery topic to talk about, isn't it? Oh no, the vending machine is out of miniature Mars bars, but those are my bloody favourites. Soon the whole world will be nothing but pupil. What's happening? Oh, blimey. Oh, interesting. I mean, I know pupils are black holes, but this is acting a lot like a black hole. If you'll forgive my slightly daft wordage. Right. Okay. Well, now that he's eaten all of the trees, we can carry on with our lives. This is a very strange game. I suppose I am going to go and say hello, or quite possibly goodbye, judging by how apocalyptic this seems, to my only friend in the world. This very small remnant of world that is left, and that is Bambi over here. Hello. How are you both doing on this very strange day? I hope you're both well. What the hell is that? You know what? Don't answer. I don't want to know. Right. Oh wait, hang on. Ah. My only friend. My only friend in the world, and look what I've done. Oh, blimey. Right. Let's escape the scene of the crime before the police arrive. That's my advice. That's my advice. Right. Let's get this and get the hell out of here and never come back. I was going to say, do I need to make my way back to my bed, as we seem to have done in the last couple of these? So, yes, video games do like to tell you where to go with the use of light, so let's see if I can get back to bed. My giddy up, for the entire world is enveloped by the inky void. I don't like these sounds. I don't like the way these sounds remind me of a hungry tummy. Is this getting any closer? Because I get the distinct impression that it's not. Oh no. No. It's alright. It's not. I mean, you probably would go to bed when it's dark, but not quite that bloody dark. There's usually a little bit of residual light from the moon or the stars, or the light pollution from the city over the road. I don't know. Moth. Ah, indeed. Sitting on the couch in my old house watching TV, but the house was just one main room with no windows. The news came on and announced there was a celestial body heading towards Earth at high speeds, and everyone needed to pray. Ah, right. Because that's going to solve everything, isn't it? Don't ask a scientist or anything. I started panicking and walked outside. It was bright with no clouds in the sky. Saw rows of other small houses, but no one was around. Looked into the sky behind me and saw a small black hole hovering in the distance, making a loud, wailing noise. It felt like the world was about to end. What is that snoring chainsaw sound? My goodness. There's something odd about this camera. I'm sure that my head is oriented straight, but my mind almost wants to think as if my head is tilted, possibly just because of the stimuli my eyes are receiving. That's most curious and really rather unpleasant, and I've had to sell all my bloody furniture. Oh, blimey. You really did let the house go, friend. Oh, I can finally see these moths without the use of reflected light. My goodness, you things aren't any better looking when the light hasn't bounced around a few times. My goodness, I don't want to frickin' know what exploded in there. At least we now know who's responsible for blowing up my CRT. Let's turn some lights on. Why not? That'll make everything better. Let's continue to meander around and see what else we can find. Oh sheesh. Oh, it keeps on getting worse. Somehow, I don't really know how, but somehow it manages it. We need to make... Ah, yes, here we are. Excellent. Right, I don't think, actually, that I do want to be in here. So I'm going to leave. Yes. We still haven't needed to use the photographs and the symbols, but I imagine those will come into play at some point. Or be optional for some sort of bonus ending or something, perhaps. Have to wait and see. Is that going to get rid of this chain, or is it not? Ah. Now comes the this. Right, okay. Okay, my theory is that the number of people is the position in the sequence, right? So this is 4 people, so this would be the 4th symbol. So the last one would be the sort of right to the left, and then down. So that would be that one. Yes, so I'm going to guess that's the 4th one. So I want to have a little look at the other pictures and see if I can decipher the sequence. My goodness me. This is a lot stranger and a lot more bizarre than I had envisioned. This has 2 people in it, so that has that one. It's like a backwards C and an I. Alright, what about the first one though? What about the one that just has 1 person on it? That's what I want to see. Can I turn some more lights on? There we are. Doesn't help tremendously, but it helps a little bit. Oh no, and the FUV is dripping through the ceiling. A state agent warned me about that and everything. Right, so that's the little 3 symbol. So from that we should be able to work out what we need to do, simply by a process of elimination. So if there were 3 lines, that's the first one that we need to do. I'm going to venture to suggest, which is this one. Then I want this one. Then presumably this one, because this is the last one. So that leaves that to be the 3rd one. Guessing I did it right? Oh my goodness. And already the interior decor is vastly improved. Let's carry on, shall we? Because apparently we haven't seen enough. We're not satisfied yet. We demand yet more. Blimey. Right. Well, that's it. Let's get on with life, shall we? Or possibly get on with death. Oh, good. I was so afraid that it might be over. Well, that looks blooming comfy. This is giving Victor Zsasz vibes. I don't like that. There's not a lot of fictional characters which genuinely disturb me, but Victor Zsasz is one of them. I don't like the concept of people hiding in cupboards either. I'm just gonna shut that door and it's not gonna be my problem. Perhaps you will rightly berate me for doing that, but I just can't be bothered, right? Lumpylicious man has been naughty and has been put in a timeout. Other than that, everything's going quite well, apart from the fact that we had to replace the ceiling with chicken wire. Good. 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 I was so sick of having a perfectly functional roof. I don't like how wobbly the floor is either. Right. I love that I've sold the bed, but I didn't think to sell the guest bed. I might have started with that. Unless the guests are paying a quite significant sum in rent. More exploded by goods. You know, it really begs the question why I haven't started using these ruddy things. Alright, let's... Sorry, I thought I saw something in here. I don't believe that I did. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness gracious me. What the hell am I doing? This is very strange. I am not at all sure what this is going for. But then it is supposed to be a dream, and they're seldom discussed because they're simple, logical, and purposeful. Yeah, I didn't really want to go down here, but I don't think I had much of a choice. Here I am, tumbling down the tube, breaking all my bones, no doubt. Right, here I am. Here I am in the tube of scabs. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, I don't know what we're going to find at the end of this tunnel, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, so that's got to be a good thing, right? Unless it's the light of a torch of a man standing at the end of the tunnel who wishes to clobber you with a large, lumpy carrot, in which case that would be less than optimal. But let's just assume for the time being that that's not what it is, and that it's actually something lovely, like the headlights of an ice cream van, perhaps. Please tell me this is the bit where I wake up. I'm not sure how much more of this I can handle. Oh, blimey, I think I fell out of bed. Oh, no, I was tipped out of bed by the bed burglars who broke into my house to burgle my bed. I see. I see. Well, the sun's up, so that's lovely. I've heard this music before in horror games. Not quite this distorted before, but I've definitely heard it before. Right, is there a final journal entry? No. No, there isn't even an initial journal entry. Alright. Ah, I see. Yes, this was in the early stage of the house where we tacked on the 17 extensions. What's this crescendoing toward? I don't know. I can't go in the vent. I'm not Batman. Sorry about that. Oh, the bathroom's been added on. Tremendous. Hello. Oh, I've been here before. Not just in the bathroom, I mean at this sort of, moment in a man's life I've been here. Is it time to leave already? Kid, we've been here over an hour. I think I've overstayed my welcome. Didn't really mean for him to leave. He could stay if he wanted to. I wouldn't mind. I was more enthused about me being able to leave. Maybe he's just moving in and hasn't unboxed his things yet. It feels like I only just got here. Really? I feel like I've been trapped here since the dawn of time. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me that thinks that. Right. What's the next room? Ah, the laundry room, of course. How could I possibly forget. It seems bigger when it's not full of exploded goop. It seems so much bigger. Right. It's interesting how what the hell happened then? It's like someone pulled the jump cut on me. That was most disturbing. You see why I don't do those bloody things now. At least not wherever it's possibly avoidable. Right. I find it curious. The character of old Wispy here seems to sort of change in size sometimes. I feel as if sometimes it's not the same size as myself, as if he's sometimes a little bit smaller. I've been so happy here. I don't want to go. Now this text almost makes me think as if he's sort of having to leave home. That he's sort of packing up all his things and sort of having one last look around his house before he leaves. Surely it can't be anything that benign. Bloody cowboy builders never finish the ruddy job they quote for. These ghosts will always remain in this place. To be honest, friend, I'd take the ghosts over the moths any day. Because at least if you have to call the Ghostbusters in, you can hear a vaguely interesting soundtrack. I don't think the moth extermination people have quite the same auditory budget. Time passes, memories fade. But even if I'm sad it's over. I'm sad that the sentence was over before you gave us the grand meaning of your epitaph. Perhaps we were going for some sort of don't cry because it's over, smile because it's happy. You're going to get something equally strange here. It's a weird reflection there. I'm glad it all happened. Yes, that's exactly what we're going for. Right. Oh no, not this ruddy clock again. Another inky void I could stick my face in. Wouldn't that be a shame? It's time to leave now. Oh, the clock is broken. How curious. A man being sad about leaving the house that he's lived in presumably for a long time doesn't seem to quite gel with all the other strange horrors I've been subjected to in the past hour. But alright. It's more benign than the topics I thought we were going to deal with when we had all those crying children. In the end, I needed you. Am I supposed to be progressing the text in some manner? I needed you to give me closure. There's a statement there to be made about the lasting pain of very negative experiences, and oddly needed to go back to the person that caused it all just to get a little bit of closure so that you might move on one day. The dreams are behind me. And now, I will pass them along to you. Thank you for everything. I see. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You're coming in for a kiss, friend. Brain scan, alright, fair dues. What a strange game. Is it going for a sort of is it the Ring, where if you watch the film you have to make somebody else watch the film in order to sort of pass the curse on? Is that what this is going for? With those concluding statements there? I wonder if leaving the house now is meant to be much more symbolic and much less literal. It's just meant to be about leaving behind a place in which you dwelt for a long time, but that being a sort of a psychological place within the confines of a dream, rather than within the physical confines of four walls. Ah, right. Well, I'd better pop down to the old clinic and get that seen to, hadn't I? Or was it there all along? I don't know. I've had butterflies in my stomach a few times, you know, in the naive excitement of youth, when I actually thought that life was, you know, a bit less bleak, but not any longer, so maybe the tapeworm got it, I don't know. Blimey. Blimey, blimey, blimey. That was a very strange game. A very, very, very strange game. If that was based on real dreams of the developer, then I hope they're doing alright, because they have experienced some very funky episodes, shall we say. My goodness. That was very strange. With the exception of the biological horror, I suppose, for want of better terminology, with regard to the moths and the larvae or cocoons or whatever they were in the sinks and in the baths, and the goop and the blood everywhere. Other than those very minor details, there wasn't that much which was explicitly horrific, you know, in more traditional senses of scary things like monsters and gore and loud noises. And yet it still managed to be deeply disturbing, unsettling, and it instilled a sense of wanting to get away from it and wanting to escape it, which I suppose is a feeling that is invoked both within a dream and after you've had a recurring dream, knowing that one day it might return. So wanting to escape it is the sort of feeling that you would want to invoke in a player of a game about a dream. So I suppose in that regard it's pulled it off really rather well. It's made quite good use of the relatively confined environment of the house as well, as much as we weren't always there, but changing things up by adding in the rooms and taking them away at I was going to say random intervals, but not random intervals, carefully pre-specified intervals, made quite good use of the space, because you never quite knew what was going to be there, and presumably it took away the rooms that you didn't need when you didn't need them. So that was very strange indeed, but quite enjoyable, certainly from an artistic perspective. So that was a thing that exists in the universe, which we have now experienced together. Thank you very much for sharing this experience with me. I feel we're all going to need quite a lot of expensive therapy after this, but never mind, it happened, so don't be sad that it happened. Just get out your credit card. Just get out your credit card, because the rippers aren't bloody cheap. Right. This is a weird game, and I've done some weird commentary on it, so I apologise for that, but thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.